So what is the truth about HIIT, or high intensity interval training? You hear it a lot. It's from personal trainers, from videos, on the internet, in the media. HIIT seems to be the new buzzword, or not even the new buzzword anymore, the buzzword of the fitness industry. And today I just wanted to take you through some of the things that rub me the wrong way when we're talking about HIIT, although it's a great training method and can be very effective in some scenarios, how it's actually being used in the mainstream, and how that might not necessarily be appropriate for some people. So what is HIIT in the first place? So it's really about trying to elevate yourself to a point of discomfort, so you will notice a very obvious increase in your heart rate and your breathing rate, where you can probably only sustain 1 or 2 words or just physically not be able to speak during activity. And then you sustain that for either a period of maybe 30 seconds, and then you take some rest, and then you go again. So conventionally, HIIT training is very much like circuit training, okay? And the idea is that by pushing yourself beyond that comfort level several times within a session, you're able to build fitness, burn fat, release hormones that are conducive to actually losing fat and toning up, and you can get a lot of work done in a short period of time. And I'm totally on board with that, completely agree. And if you're someone that's time pressed or hitting the gym and you only have 30, 45 minutes, then absolutely, that's probably the way to go if you're able to get to that point safely, and there's no contraindications as to why you should be doing that, particularly from a medical perspective. But what tends to rub me up the wrong way with this is we really talk about it in terms of a physique point of view. And yes, probably a lot of people diet and exercise from a physique perspective, but that's not always the whole story. Some people just want to tone up, or they just want to lose some weight. They want to improve a medical condition, and then they read about this HIIT and think that's the way to go. When in reality, there's many different types of exercise that actually can be beneficial from a health perspective, from a weight perspective, that doesn't involve HIIT. So for example, a prime example would be someone like Mo Farrah. This guy is doing hundreds of miles a week on the running track between a high and low intensity, and somewhere in between as well. He doesn't have the huge muscles, and people often use him as an example of how cardio isn't good for you and that you waste away. But that's not what he's trying to do. He's not trying to build big muscles. He's trying to be an endurance athlete. So endurance athletes are not going to be big muscled because that's the nature of the beast. But I bet if you looked at him compared to someone else who's a regular gym goer in terms of their VO2 max, which is your capacity to use oxygen, so how fit you are, his lactate threshold, at what point does exercise become uncomfortable, and you can work that out as a percentage of maximum heart rate, he is going to be blowing people that just attend the gym regularly out of the water. He's a very fit individual. His cardiovascular health is going to be off the scale. So just because he doesn't have the big muscles and doesn't look gym fit doesn't mean he isn't fit. And that's really one thing to take in consideration. There is a place for cardio, there is a place for steady state activity. It doesn't always have to be an absolute beasting every time you go to the gym. And that's particularly important if you're someone that's new to the gym, because I can guarantee you if you're going straight in with HIIT training or high intensity training, you're probably going to start to get injuries, you're probably not going to like the feeling of it, and it's not going to be very good for you in the short term and could lead to dropout. So it's much better to ease yourself in and then find out what works for you.